Welcome to Linux Overdose, episode 27. Today is July the 25th, 2016, and today's episode we're going to be talking about display manager, mostly the lightdm, and window manager, which is JWM, Joe's window manager. And the music you hear in the background is the new Linux Overdose theme music, a royal-free music that you can get from bensound.com. So we'll just go ahead and stop the music, and I'll go ahead and close this entry thing here, and we'll go ahead and boot up in a virtual machine. And you'll notice that I don't got the text big yet, and I think the reason why, because I didn't install the first VirtualBox, which is Qt4, and this is VirtualBox Qt5. So I think they're contradicting each other, where I can't make the text big on here. I can't use the config tools to get this text large. So what I'm going to do on the next episode, I'm going to go ahead and actually uninstall both VirtualBox, try to save this Burns Lab Linux distro that I got installed right now, save it to the side, reinstall VirtualBox Qt5, and then reinstall or place this into the new VirtualBox and see if I can get the text big. So we'll see how that goes on the next episode. I think that will solve my problem, which this VirtualBox is stable. It's working just great. I just cannot get the text larger, which I mean I still can read everything, but I just prefer it larger. So we'll go ahead and boot up in Burns Lab, which is alternative to like a Crunchbang, and I'll be talking about fish for just a little bit, and I'll go ahead and open it up, my terminal, which is using the fish shell right now, and you can see that I got the welcome gone for the fish thing, which you can go to the manual to figure that out, and also did a change to prompt, which I like this prompt. And fish has a config tool that you can use in the terminal, which is fish _ config, and you can see it has auto completion. I just hit the control, I hit the right arrow key and then enter, and then I can use what's there. The color I'm using is Tomorrow Night Bright is the color. You can see the color matches. The prompt I'm using is called nim, which is this nim, which matches that. And then you have these other things which I haven't messed with, functions, variables. This is your history, your bindings, and you can set abbreviations. So you just have to go through all that and try to understand. But I think that was pretty cool that I had that to change my colors real quick and my prompt real quick. So and also install Oh My Fish and Fisherman, so that's extra tools that you can use. It said it was supposed to not conflict with each other, so I haven't tested that out yet. I haven't run any problems yet. So, and another thing I was going to talk about is alias. I finally got in Bash I had NW for Emacs no window, and this was my alias, and I got my alias set up where it works in here now. So Control X, Control C, and of course Emacs shows up, and then of course if I want Emacs no window, which is the longhand, the shorthand was E N W, so I like that. And what it is, it's they use a function, so they do functions or function, and then you put in the function, which is ENW, then you press enter. This is how you don't have to open up your terminal, and I guess it don't hurt to rewrite it. And then the command which is no window, and you have to do this argument thing, ARGV, and then N, and this sets it up. And then you just press enter, and to save it is FUN save ENW, and let's see, at least that's what I thought it was. Guess it ain't. Maybe it's that. Save. Yeah, ENW. So it's funds function FUNC save, and then what you're trying to save here, and then you just go NEW, and I got it. So that's how you do the alias without even open up the config file. You just do function ENW or whatever the alias you want to be, the command that you're trying to make alias of, with this argument variable, and then N, and then you do the FUNC save, and then what you're trying to save, the alias. So that's how you do that. That's I've been messing around, so that's what I learned so far, little by little. And you notice when I do have a light a desktop manager or display manager, and to find that out, which one you have, is this echo the $ desktop underline session, all capital letters, and it says I'm using lightdm, which that's what I'm using. So that's one way to find out what display manager you're using. But I got that on auto login, so I don't even see my display manager, but I can get to it by just logging out, and now I'm here. And I'm gonna go log back in, and from there you can change environments, like your different window managers and different desktop environments and stuff. And I already got Joe Window Manager installed, and I use the Synaptic Package Manager. And the version is 2.1, and I believe it's 2.3 3.3, I think is the newest one. And I think you get extra packages if you build from source. Here, I don't think it gave me every available package. It gave me enough to the vanilla part of Joe Window Manager, this version. But I believe from the source I'll have extra tools. So what I might do, one episode here real soon, maybe not the next episode, but the episode after that, is uninstall this Joe Window Manager and build it from source and just see if it looks different or gives me better tools. And plus it'll be a newer version anyway, so we'll see how that goes too. So, but this is how you just right click at market to install, apply, and then it gets installed, and it automatically will be in your display manager if you have one. So log out, and this is where you'll find it at. My default is actually OpenBox, and here's OpenBox, and here's where I install Joe Window Manager. Now if I want to boot up into that, I just click on it. See, it's highlighted. Use my username and password, and now I'm in Joe Window Manager. And what it did, whatever desktop I had, it kind of tiled it. But when you reboot, it's just a black screen. So I went ahead and found a desktop wallpaper, which I used this one. And I believe it's supposed to have been wide enough, so I don't know why it didn't stretch it or why is it showing shorter. But that's no big deal. And this is the clock, which you click on. You can do the digital. So, and I believe it's 24 hours. So I would have to, if I was going to keep this, I'll be changing it to 12 hours. And I believe this is just like a monitor, like a task system monitor of. If you see spikes, you're using too many resources, so it should stay low all the time, other than when I do something like open up the browser, it might spike a little bit. Okay, and you do get this bar on the bottom, and these two things on the right, and all these are workspaces. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you so there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and you can do different backgrounds and stuff. And if you click on this, only things I had when I clicked on it was exit, restart, lock, and the terminal, and that was it. And this stuff was commented out, and I just uncommented out, and now I got them. And I did change the text editor to Emacs. I forget what the other one. It was DEH or some editor I never heard of. And it didn't have no file manager, so I'm using a Thunar file manager. And it had open Office, so I just went ahead and changed that. I went ahead and put D menu on here, and VLC twice, one for audio, music, and one for video. So I'll probably change this one for like a music one. And here, and the terminator's the terminal that I'm using by default. And utilities, you got your calculator, fonts, magnifying, your synaptic package manager, and some window properties. So let's see, I'll go to the file manager and we'll go to the RC. Now you have to copy it to the location, the original location, and to put it here. And where it was, I'll show where it was. It was an ETC JWM. Which is right here, and the system dot JWMRC. This is the original file that came with it, and I think it stays the same. Yeah. So this is how it looked like originally. See, this right here was comment out, which was the menu thing. And this was the original files that were there, and I edited just a little bit. It had RhythmBox, which I don't think I have that installed anyway. Pigeon, OpenOffice, GIMP. Let's see, it had something else. It had this XILINEISE, whatever that is, and Mute. And this DIA, that was the text editor, I believe. So I uncommented all that out. That showed up, and then I just edited it. And then the rest of it, I don't think I changed nothing. So that's the original file. And this is the file that I edited, which you can see I comment out the menu icon, so all that shows up. Now you can notice it shows program icons, and none of the icons show up, so I don't have that file. If I did it from source, I think it would give me those files, and then those icons will show up. So they don't show up at this time, even though they're listed there. And that's about it for that. And when I fire up the terminal, it goes, it don't open up the window. It just does this. I don't know why. So, and I haven't figured that out yet. So, because I would want it when it opens up, open up about this size or something like that by default, and I haven't figured out how to do that. And another thing cool about everything else opens up just fine, like my browser, it opens up full screen, and everything else opens up the way it's supposed to open up, other than my terminal, which I don't know why it does that. So another thing is I can left click anywhere, and I still got my menu. This restart is not restart your computer. It actually, if you change the config files of Joe Window Manager and hit this restart, it just refreshes it, and then that way you don't have to boot off or log off or whatever. And we don't have no log off button. We have lock, and exit means you exit, shut off. So there is no log off, but you can configure all that. There's a lot of configurations that you can do, and you'll notice that if you like I said, I had Manjaro Joe Window Manager Edition, and they fixed it up perfect the way I like it. So I might install that and show that also, just show you what a window manager can do. But this is pretty nice. It's lightweight. It's great for for a very old computer, because this ain't taking many resources at all. It's just a window manager with a taskbar, and like I said, I can open up, and it shows up here, and I can open up. Well, here even D menu, which I don't like the font, so you would have to go in, I believe under D menu, which should be right here. Well, that's just a shell. You might have to create it to change these fonts, but you can fire up any application that you have in here. So like I got some games. I can't remember the games I got, and to get out of it, just escape. And then and that's about it. That's all I want to show you was display manager, and the one I had was light. Now there's many others, and we can look those up. Linux display manager. And I know I'm online. There we go. And you got the console ones, CDM, console TDM, and no DM. And I never mess with the console ones. I mess with the graphic ones, and I mess with the GDM, the KDM, of course the lightdm, LXDM, MDM, and I don't think I messed with this yet. I haven't messed with slime. Everyone likes slime. It's discontinued, but people are still using slime. And this is the new, instead of KDM, this is the KDDM. This is being discontinued also. And then you got this XDM, and there's others too. So so there's a lot of display managers to go through. So you might have one of the others, but at least you have where you can log in. You can shut off your computer from there too. You can change your window manager, your desktop environment. You change a lot of things, so it's pretty handy to have a display manager. Even if you have it automatic log in like me, I just log out and there's my, and whatever you say you log out under this one, when I boot back my computer, I'm going to be in my last session that I was boot up into. So if I shut this computer off and boot back in, I'll be booting in this one instead of Burns Lab. So that's another thing. I think you can set it to default. So, and then the Linux Joe's or JWM. And this is their website. I don't know why I'm a little slow here, but these are not required, these extra packages, but it brings out more things you can do with the Joe's window manager. And I believe if you did it from source, all these packages get installed unless you tell it otherwise. So that's why I want to go to source to get a newer version, plus all these other features, and plus they probably have a better default than the one that was represented to me. So the current is 2.3.5, so that's the current one. So and you just install it from source. You get from GitHub, and there's a few things, how to change things here, but not a lot of good things though. A better website to edit is the Arch Linux. It has more detail how to change and configure your RC file, your JWM RC file. So alright, well, I'm going to be talking, I guess I'll end this episode, probably put some of these websites in, easy to do. Let me see, when I exit, I actually shut this all, no, I guess I go back, you log off, so I'll go back to my display manager. I don't actually shut it off, so... And from here, so you can shut this off. But remember, I'll be going back. When I boot in, I'll be in Joe's window manager, which is no big deal because I can exit and then change it to my default. So shut down. And so my next episode 28, we're actually going to be uninstalling VirtualBox. Both of them, reinstall with the newer version, and try to save what data I got on here, which is probably easy to do because it's a separate file, which is this right here. This is what I got installed. So if I just save this file, move it somewhere, and just move it back in to this folder when I get the new VirtualBox installed correctly. I should have access to it. I might have to do a export import. I'll investigate that. I'll do both. That way I'm safe. So I just was teaching you how to a little bit more information about Display Manager and that you can switch to a different window manager and still keep your original stuff. So, because right here I have a Display Manager too. I just have to sign out of this, which I'll be losing my recording if I do that. In the VirtualBox, I'm safe to do stuff like that. I can't do it on my regular system. So I'll go ahead and end this episode, and I'll see episode 28 about uninstalling, reinstalling VirtualBox, and if I got time, build Joe Window Manager from source. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.